What's going on, guys? It's your boy Jar back again with GPC week number 4. We're going up against Johnny Risepool, very good friend of ours, known him a long time in the community. So he's a very good battler. I believe he's 2-1 at this point with his Rhine Valley Guardians. So we definitely have a tough match ahead of us. He's got a very scary team, at least compared to ours. We both have a lot of offense that's hard to switch into, but I think we can take Johnny down. So Johnny, let's just hop over to the matchup panel real quick. Johnny, you know our team on the top. Johnny has Zapdos, Charizard X, Diggersby, Klefki, Miltank, Mismagius, Mesprit, Alolan Muck, Sceptile, Starmie, and Aerodactyl. So a few problems with... Sorry about that, guys. I wanted to go get some water in the middle of this recording, because for some reason, if you notice, I have to make a lot of cuts in these videos, because I guess if I start talking too fast, I start hiccuping or whatever. But, so, a few problems with Johnny's team versus mine. I have no switch-ins to Charizard, X, and Diggersby. Those are very tough for my team to switch into. They 2-hit KO almost everything, so joy that we have no switch-ins. I'm going to actually go for a drink of water now. Give me a second. Sorry about that. That was the last time. My dogs, again. Alright, so I've already tried to record this once, and they barked at least 50 times, so it wasn't working for me. So, I talked about Zard and Diggersby. I have no switch-ins. Also, the combination of Zapdos and Klefki actually wall a lot of my offense really well. Klefki's like one of the only Kyurem Black counters in the game, so we have to find a way to get Kyurem Black through that Klefki. But yeah, Klefki and Zapdos wall a lot of my offense. Starmie can spin on my entire team because it's relatively slow, and the idea and the thing is that something like Chansey, which is my switch-in, I mean, it's not too much of a threat if it comes in, so he can spin. Another big problem for my team is the fact that Alolan Muck can do a lot of work to my team if I lose my Donphan. Basically, I have to keep my Donphan alive because it's so key for a lot of his mons, like Charizard X, Diggersby, even Miltank to some degree, Alolan Muck, Aerodactyl. I mean, it's a problem of having it for too many things, and I think it might cost us this game, but we will see. So let's just jump into the team we're bringing. So with Johnny's team, I decided a little more offensive approach was going to be better. So I brought a Celesteela with Expert Belt, Beast Boost, Stone Edge, Heavy Slam, Toxic, and Earthquake, Max Attack, Adamant. I thought about Banded, but the problem is with that, Zapdos will always outspeed. So even if I get the prediction right with Stone Edge, it can roost and I can't hit it neutrally or super effectively anymore. So I decided Expert Belt, Stone Edge, Earthquake is the better option. I have 12 EVs here. I'm pretty sure they were just in HP. I don't know why Showdown does that sometimes. But yeah, 92 speed, because after that I will outspeed the entirety of his team after an Autotomize, but I took that off. So, but I still left the speed on there because I wanted to just generally avoid speed creeping, especially with an offensive Celesteela, because I'm not going to take hits very well. But I originally had Autotomize over Toxic, but I just figured I'm not sweeping Johnny's team with this Celesteela. It's just not going to happen. So I just decided overall going for a more offensive wall breaking approach would be better, and Toxic to Toxic Zapdos if I need that done. So that was my thought process with Celesteela. Very interesting Celesteela spread. Hopefully we can start picking up some kills with this thing. I've tried to bring it offensive a few times and it hasn't quite worked out so far. But next we got Mega B. Again, something Zapdos or Klefki could counter pretty well, but I decided to go with a set that beats Zapdos 1v1 because I'm rocking Sword Stance Substitute, Poison Jab, and Drill Run. No U-turn, and if it's a Magnet Rise Klefki, I literally can't beat it. So I was put in a tough position of, alright, I really want to run, like, U-turn and keep getting momentum out, but I'm not bringing that many wall breakers this week, because you'll see my Kyurem set isn't exactly a wall breaker. So I figured, alright, I don't really need the U-turn then. I want Sub, because I don't want to catch static from Zapdos right away. So I can SD up, only hit it once, less risk of a static chance, and I should OHKO a even almost max Zapdos with +2 Poison Jab, especially if I get my rocks up. So that was my thought process. As you can see from the speed though, I'm not speed creeping Aerodactyl. I don't really expect Aerodactyl to come first of all, and if it does come, it will probably be a lead Suicide Rocks. So I decided speed creeping Starmie or Scarf Adamant Diggersby was my better bet. If he brings Aerodactyl, because Stone Edge spam has kind of been okay versus our team, as you can see, hits 3 things super effectively, but I do have that Donphan. If he decides to bring it, we could be in a little bit of trouble, but overall I just decided this was the better set to bring. Next up, very important member of the team this week, Donphan. Very interesting Donphan set, Max, Leftovers, Sturdy, Rest, Sleep Talk, Earthquake, and Toxic. So This set, very interesting. This set actually 1v1s most of his offense. As long as he's not Banded Diggersby, he can't 2-hit KO me with return. So I just can Toxic the Zapdos with a nice Sleep Talk roll, prevent it from roosting up by spamming Earthquake, and then keep resting up every time it puts me into a 2-shot range. So I beat Zapdos 1v1. I can handle most variants of Charizard 1v1. I'm very kind of scared of SD Charizard, but that really doesn't work versus my team because I have a Chansey, and if he Flare Blitzes a Chansey after setting up a little bit, his recoil is going to be actually 1,000. It will take so much recoil from Flare Blitzing my Chansey that it is ridiculous, and he can't really risk the Dragon Claw because I have a Togekiss which could be Scarfed and he could get Air Slash flinched. So very interesting set of Donphan this week. Not too breaking out of the meta, but definitely something a little more weird. I kind of needed to keep Donphan alive and just have it sit there and take hits. That's what it's built for this week. Next up, we got our boy or girl Chansey, Eviolite, Natural Cure, Max, Stealth Rock, Seismic Toss, Thunder Wave, Soft Boil. Now, I really debated counter on Chansey because I could take a hit from the Diggersby and I could fire back a big ass counter and knock it out. But Chansey's health is so important in this game because it's so needed to wall all of his special attackers. That's a very good matchup. And if I'm going to take a hit from Diggersby just to fire off a counter, I'm going to wind up losing my Chansey very quickly. So I just decided, let's just build it so it doesn't get set up on by Zard. S-Toss, Thunder Wave, Soft Boil, throw Rocks on there because Rocks versus Johnny's team are very good. For some reason, a lot of people haven't been able to set them up on him, so we'll see if we can get our Rocks up versus Johnny, but he has a Zard, and not a lot of people set Rocks up on him, which I find hilarious. But let's move on to one of the captains of the team. We got Mega B. We got Kyurem Black. Very cool Kyurem Black spread. I was really proud to come up with this one. It is a Leftovers Terravolt, Substitute Fusion Bolt, Dragon Claw, Toxic, and the name of this Kyurem Black's game is just No Resist. I'm running Max Attack Adamant. I'm using two very strong moves, one being Stab, one being basically Stab with its high-ass power, and I'm running Toxic. Now the idea is I can beat as any variant of Zapdos 1v1 basically. I can set up subs on it all day as long as it's not running Ancient Power. Jesus Christ, I cannot stop hiccuping. So I'm gonna try, keep it, I shouldn't record after I eat, but yeah, sorry, I'm being gross. Yeah, so this is the Kyurem Black spread. 260 speed, very interesting speed. Enough to outspeed like 100 speed Zapdos. I really expect defensive Zapdos enough to live 2 shots from Mega Beast, so I really don't expect a variant that has too much speed, but just in case, I don't want him outspeeding me and potentially burning me with a Heat Wave, paralyzing me with a Thunderbolt. So Dragon Claw, Fusion Bolt, Toxic Substitute, 52 in HP, 68 in defense. I won't be 2-shot by any variants of Klefki with Play Rough. He's running Flash Cannon. It's a little bit of a different story, but I really expect Play Rough because I have a Chansey. So, like, bruh, really? Yeah, I'm not going to get into I'll get into that later, but the Kyurem Black spread, very good for this week. The name of the game is No Resist. Moving on, very cool Togekiss set we're bringing this week. Expert Belt, Serene Grace, Ancient Power, Defog, Roost, and Flamethrower. 180 special attack, 164 speed, and 164 in defense with a timid nature. Now, same speed as Kyurem if you noticed. Roost to keep my longevity. Defog because I might need to get rid of Rocks, and I did not have room for Spin on Donphan. I really struggled with this last spot, what to bring. I overall decided this Togekiss spread was my best option because I can defog on Klefki, which is his potential spiker. I flamethrower it and do a fuck ton with the Expert Belt, and I outspeed any variant of Zapdos that I'm expecting and 2-shot it with Ancient Power. So, and Zard cannot set up on me, especially if I don't reveal the Ancient Power, catch that thing off guard, because he's not going to think I'm running Mono Flamethrower, so he won't expect Thunder Wave after a while. But with the special attack, with 120 base, Togekiss actually is going to put in a lot of work this week, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the team. We have the battle versus Johnny. We're going to do a quick cut, and I will see you guys in the battle. We'll see how the team can do. So I'll see you in a minute. To the battle. And we are here with the battle, Johnny Risepool, aka Johnny Risepool. Going up against him, we got our team, you know what we're bringing. He brought everything I expected except the Aerodactyl. Very unfortunate to see that thing, because now Donphan is in charge of walling 3 things on his team, which I would really rather just be the Zard and the Diggersby, even though those 2 are hard enough already, but now I have to rely on it for Aerodactyl as well, potentially. So, overall, looking at his team, I kind of, if you kind of noticed during the prep, I got a little centralized on the Zapdos. So I was like, alright, Zapdos is a great lead versus my team. He has no reason not to lead with it. Let me lead with my Kyurem Black, threaten him out, get a sub up early. Maybe I can kill the Klefki before it's turn 4. So that would be lovely, because then my Kyurem Black, look at his team. basically two-shots everything and Toxic stalls Zapdos. So looking very, very good for us with that Kyurem Black set. B, he brought the Klefki, so I'm not sure if B is going to put in work this game. Very interesting B set. Like I said, I'm not sure if it'll put in work. Arrow's there, Klefki's there, Diggersby's there, all the things that can resist my two moves are there. But overall, yeah, Kyurem, I thought Kyurem was my best lead, and I thought Zapdos would be his lead. However, even if I said it in the team builder, it's a lead Aerodactyl with rocks probably. So I do not want to risk Kyurem. It is one of my win cons this week. I switch out into my Celesteela immediately, take a Stone Edge, and that does a fuck ton. As you can see, my prep for Aerodactyl, non-existent. He's going to fire off a taunt here, expecting a Leech Seed, probably for me wanting to get some health back, but I am offensive. I did not click Toxic. I'm just going to click Heavy Slam, get this thing down to 1%, and here I'm going to make a little bit of a risky play. Click Stone Edge in case Zapdos wanted to come in, but getting his rocks up is probably the best bet for him. I can defog with my Togekiss on the Klefki and potentially on the Starmie. Now, very important play right now. I'm at +1, so I figured, alright, he does not want to risk my Celesteela firing off a +1 hit when he's seen that I'm basically should know that I'm very, very offensive invested by the moves I've revealed and the fact that I've just been attacking. So I expect either I don't think a Thunderbolt kills me from this range. A Volt Switch, a Thunderbolt probably kills me from this range. A Volt Switch from defensive Zapdos should probably not kill me from this range. So I thought about staying in here and firing off a Stone Edge and or Heavy Slam. I probably would have ended up firing off a Heavy Slam, but I did not want to risk it because I don't know why. Looking at his team, Celesteela doesn't put up too much work anymore. Especially, I guess he can come in and fire off big hits on the Klefki, but other than that, everything else can pretty much deal with it. So, probably should have stayed in as I switch out on my Donphan, trying to catch the Volt Switch, and he reveals the U-turn Zapdos. So, good prep on Johnny's part, and a lot of momentum lost on our part. And the worst part is my Donphan has now taken some damage to a point where if it is Diggersby variants I cannot switch into, it will 2-hit KO me. So I have to go out into my Chansey on the Starmie. He predicts that beautifully great play by Johnny. Goes out into his Diggersby. I want to scout the damage, and good God, is that banded Diggersby, or is that banded Diggersby? I knew Chansey could take a hit still, and HP isn't too important for special attackers. Here, I'm going to go out into my Celesteela. This will confirm to me if he's banded, if he kills me. It's the only set that can kill me, and he does, in fact, knock me out. So now I'm dealing with a Diggersby that literally two-shots everything on my team. I can outspeed it with Kyurem Black and Beedrill. The problem is Beedrill can't touch it. I'm not running Air Slash on my Togekiss. Kyurem Black is my only answer to this Diggersby, so I am forced to bluff the Ice Beam here, go out into my Kyurem Black, as I expect him entirely to switch. He needs this thing. Holy crap, I cannot stop doing that. Anyway, Kyurem Black, I'm going to go for a sub, and here I'm going to fire off a Fusion Bolt. We're going to gauge the damage. He goes for Magnet Rise, expecting Earth Power Kyurem Black. That is not what we are. We are Max Attack Adamant, and I do only 50. So unless he's max bold, I think I got a little bit of a low roll. So I'm going to fire off another one. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to kill Klefki, but it looks like it was a little bit of min-max there to take out that Klefki, which I am fine with. Dealing with that Klefki is very, very good for my team. So here he goes into Starmie. Basically has to sack something in order to break my Kyurem Black sub or take a fuck ton of damage on the Diggersby and put it in Beedrill range. Unfortunately, he decided to sack Starmie, which I could have dealt with a little easier. I would have rather gotten the damage on Diggersby, but here he's going to go out into his Charizard. I have my Donphan still, so I can just go out into that, and he's going to reveal Sub, which makes me kind of think he's Sub SD, but he has to click Flare, but he cannot click SD here, as I will do a lot of damage. I will break his sub every time with Earthquake, and he will lose his Charizard the next turn and still not kill my Donphan. So here, I really expect the switch into Zapdos to come because he needs Zard still, because it does match up pretty well for the rest of my team, especially if he can get a Dragon Dance or an SD up. So I'm going to predict the switch out, and I'm going to go for a rest with my Donphan. Now, he goes into the Zapdos, and like I was talking about during the team builder, Zapdos can't necessarily beat my Donphan 1v1, especially with rest, because I have Toxic. So I'm going to stay in and click Sleep Talk. The reason being is because at this point, I don't think he's HP Ice. I believe he's going to have an electric move, something to hit Kyurem with, at least neutrally, so maybe Heat Wave, and Roost. He's not, I really don't expect, and we saw he's static, so he's not removal on the Zapdos, he's removal on the Starmie. So, Donphan, I get to click Rest, and I'm going to click Sleep Talk here, because he's not bringing Zard in if he U-turns. So let's see if I get that prediction right. Let's see if he doesn't have HP Ice. He clicks U-turn, does not have HP Ice. So he's probably going into Diggersby, as I assumed, with this play. So I fire off a Sleep Talk here. Now the thing is, if I can get a Toxic, after 2 turns of Toxic, he will be in my Kyurem Black's Dragon Claw range. However, if I get EQ, he's automatically thrown into my Kieran Black's Dragon Claw range. And the big thing is putting this motherfucking thing in Kieran Black Dragon Claw range, because nothing else on my team really beats it. So, if I can get either of those two moves, I can definitely finish this game with Kieran. Unfortunately, you can already tell where this is going. I'm going to get rest, so my prediction is for not. Donphan is at least back at full, but now I have to sack something. Togekiss defogs on nothing, beats nothing. Let's sack that off this right now. So he's going to go for a return. Togekiss goes down, and this is going to basically cost me a differential here, not getting that Sleep Talk rolls, because now I have to go out into my Beedrill and basically just sack it to get the damage I need on this Diggersby. I'm going to fire off a sub in case he wanted to go Zapdos. I could have potentially set up and swept him right there, but Johnny is not that dumb. He's a very smart player. He's not allowing that shit to happen. So I'm just going to fire off a Poison Jab, get a crit, Poison. I don't think it mattered. I'll explain at the end of the game why I don't think it mattered. So either way, he's gonna take some poison damage, but I'm just going to go into my Kieran Black, and I'm not gonna click sub. I'm gonna click Dragon Claw. If I get paralyzed with Zap, that sucks. However, I cannot let this Diggersby hit my sub and break it. I will be too low to win this game. So I go for Dragon Claw. Thank God, no paralysis. So now I click sub as he makes the double out into Zard, expecting Toxic or something, or potentially just another switch out into my Chansey, as I just am able to click the sub, and now he has to basically sack his Zard in order to take out my Kieran Black substitute. Dragon Claw, take that thing out. Now, I'm put into a very interesting scenario. He is going to go out into his Zapdos here, because Quick Attack does not kill me from this range. So I'm forced to sub up, because I do not want to get burned or paralyzed by a Zapdos Heat Wave Thunderbolt. So he reveals Heat Wave. I'm going to just go for a Toxic now. So this means my Donphan can now beat Zapdos 1v1, which is very, very key for the late game and the fact that I can secure this game. Here I'm going to just make the play out into my Chansey on his Zapdos' potential Heat Wave, because he kind of doesn't think I have a reason to switch out, but I need Kieran Black alive. So I'm going to go out into my Chansey. I'm going to take the Heat Wave, no problem, no burn, no nothing. I'm going to Soft Boil up as his Diggersby is going to come in. He's going to U-turn, obviously. So this is where I need to do some explaining. So if this Diggersby was not crit poisoned, alright? The poison, you can argue 30%, you know, those are come and go, hit and miss, but the crit is the big thing. If he was not crit, he would be at like, I want to say, let's see, 60 maybe. So the point here is, if he clicks return right here, then Chansey, if he clicks return right here, which he should, I sack my Chansey. I then get to go out into my Kieran, and I click Dragon Claw, and I will 2-hit KO that Zapdos with the amount of HP it's at the moment, no matter what. So at that point, Diggersby has to come back in. Kieran is in Quick Attack range, however, Donphan is not. And the fact that I'm max means I definitely can throw off a Toxic and stall that thing out, even because it'll be locked into Quick Attack. If it doesn't lock itself to Quick Attack, Kieran Black would just pick it off with a Dragon Claw. So no matter what, I was winning this game, but that crit on the Diggersby means that it is now in Chansey's Seismic Toss range, so I'm going to save some differential for myself here. Unfortunate for Johnny there, but the game was definitely going to be mine no matter which way I played it. The Zapdos is going to come in, and Chansey can comfortably live a T-Bolt from this range. It's a fucking Chansey, you know what it does. Thunderbolt gets the para, but Chansey is too much of a beast. It's going to just soft boil up, and we are going to secure a solid 3-0. So, very, very good game to my friend Johnny. Make sure you guys check him out. He's in the description below. I'm gonna have to, there was probably a cut there, but yeah, he's a great battler, good friend of mine, so I really want you guys to check him out. He played really well. We actually talked about this after the game. We think it came down to a 50-50 of, was I going to be a special Kieran Black, or was I going to be a physical Kieran Black? And since I brought special every week, I expected Magnet Rise Klefki. He could have ran Foul Play if he was expecting a physical variant, which would have been able to deal with my Kieran Black set. But unfortunately, he made the wrong 50-50 call. Maybe it was more 60-40 since I brought special every single week, but I made the right call with my Kieran Black spread. Kieran, as you can see, I let the Zapdos die to Toxic rather than S-tossing it, because Kieran then picks up 4 kills that way. So a 4-kill game for one of the captains, Kieran Black, picking up the team on his back and carrying us to victory. But Johnny played a great game. Very, very good prep on his part. Very, very close game. A lot closer than a 3-0 would dictate. But guys, that is it for now. Your Toronto Staraptors now 2-2, and I believe we're almost back in a playoff spot. So make sure you check Johnny out in the description one more time. Good friend, good guy, and I will see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.